Hello everyone, my name is Anuja Sharvastav from Ma Kalyanika Public School. Today I am going to start the chapter Plant Life of class 6. Earlier I have given you notes from the broadcast messages. Now today I am going to explain the chapter so that you will understand in the better way. So let us start the chapter Plant Life, in which we will study about the leaf in detail. So let's start the chapter Plant Life. So plant life, that means whenever you are going somewhere, you are observing anywhere, you are just watching the different types of plant. They are having the different nature, different design, different patterns. And if you are going somewhere else, you are also observe the other varieties of the plant. That means the plants grows in the different manner in the different habitat and environment. But basically they have the similar and basic structure. First we will just familiar with that structure. That means the plant. The plant body, it is having the two main parts. First is the shoot system and root system. Now let's familiar with these two terms. What is the shoot system and what is the root system? So the part of plant which grows above the ground, that system is known as the shoot system. That means it grows above the soil, and the part of plant which grows toward the soil, that is known as the root system. Okay, that means roots are present inside the soil. Now another things, root system or shoot system. The root system, it is always negative geotropic. Negative geotropic, as you can say, why it is negative geotropic? That means it grows away from the soil. Shoot is also negative hydrotropic. That means it also grows away from the water, but the shoot is positively phototropic. Phototropic, that means it grows towards the sunlight, as you already observed. Now come back to the root system. Root, it is positive geotropic. Root is also positive hydrotropic. That means root grows towards the soil and it also grows towards the water in the search of water. But opposite from the shoot system, it is negatively phototropic. Now you know about the root system and the shoot system. Let's discuss the function. Whatever the functions are performed by the roots and functions are performed by the shoot. So functions of roots. Now first function, it helps in the absorption. How it helps in absorption? The roots having the minute root hairs which helps in the absorption of water as well as minerals from the soil, and it supplied it to the other parts of the plant. Second function, what is the second function of the root? It anchor the plant in the soil. That means the roots are present in the soil and roots hold the soil firmly so that plants is able to stand properly. And the third and important function, which is it also helps in the storage of the food. Now you come to know that whatever the important functions of the roots, it helps in absorption, anchor the plant in the soil, and the storage of food. Now the functions of shoot. Function of shoot. So before we will just start the function of shoot, let's also know the shoot system. It is having the main part which is the stem. Shoot is having the main part which is known as the stem, and shoot, it is the upper part of plant and it bears the branches, flowers, buds, nodes and internode. That means it is the most important part of plant. Now whatever the functions are performed by the shoot system, first the function which is performed by the shoot, it provides the mechanical support. Why it's provide the mechanical support? Because stem it's having the various parts of plant, so it is necessary to provide the mechanical support. Second one is the whatever the absorption is performed by the root, that is completed by the shoot. That means it also helps in the conduction of water and food materials. Okay, that means these two important functions. First, it provides the mechanical support. Second, it condenses the water and the food materials. Now the another important function, it also helps in the storage of the food. That means whatever the left food is there in the plant, that also stores in the shoot. Okay, that means in the stem. Now this is about the functions of shoot and function of the roots. Now let's just discuss about the types of the root system. Roots. The roots, it is of two type. First is the tap root and second is the fibrous root. So what is tap root and what is fibrous root? Tap root, it is a basic important root. That means here one primary root arises from the base of the stem, and from this primary root number of secondary roots arises, and from these secondary roots number of tertiary roots are going to be arises. So because of this main primary root, this root is known as the tap root. And tap root, it is basically present in the dicots, or if we will discuss about the example, so like mango. Now the second is the fibrous root. In the fibrous root, here no primary root is there. Clusters of, that means group of roots arises from the base of the stem. So as you see here, no primary root is there. Number of clusters of roots arises from the base of the stem, and that's why these are thin and fibrous in structure. That's why these roots are known as the fibrous root. Now these fibrous root, these are mainly found in the monocots. And if we want to discuss about the example, let's see, one example is the grass. So I think you all come to know about the types of roots, the tap root and the fibrous root. Now let us start the main topic of this chapter, that is the leaf. That means now we will study about the leaf, the function of leaf, the modifications of the leaf. So as you all know, the leaf, it is the green photosynthetic part of the plant. That means you all know the leaf is the green in color, and leaf, it is also very important part, and it is present on the shoot system. So let us discuss the structure of the leaf. It is very important, and you must know about this structure of the leaf. So this part of leaf, it is known as the petiole. It is also known as stalk. That means leaf is directly attached to the branch with the help of this petiole or stalk. Now from this petiole or stalk, this thick structure arises. This thick structure, it is known as the midrib. It is just like the backbone present in our body. Now from this midrib, number of veins arises in the other directions. So these are known as the side veins, and simply you can say veins. Now this pointed part, this part is known as the leaf apex. Now most important part, this complete broad expanded part. This complete broad expanded part of leaf is known as lamina. And the margin of the lamina is known as leaf margin. I think you all come to know whatever the important parts of the leaf. Once again I am telling you, the petiole, important part through which leaf is attached to the stem or the branches. This main part, which is known as the midrib, these are the side veins, this is the leaf apex, this complete broad part is known as the lamina, and this help in the photosynthesis because this is the green part of the plant and it contains the chlorophyll. And these veins, these help in the conduction of water in the parts of the leaf. Now let's start another topic, the types of leaves. So leaves, it is of two types. First is the simple leaf and second one is the compound leaf. In simple leaf, this is the structure of the simple leaf. Here the lamina, it is not divided. In simple leaf, the lamina, that means this leaf blade is not divided, it is in the simple structure, and this is the mid rib. Okay, so example I can write here, mango. And as compared to the simple leaf, compound leaf, in compound leaves the lamina is divided into the leaflet. That means here one thin stem you can say, but it is known as the rachis. In this rachis, the leaves are arises on the different side. That means lamina is furtherly divided into the other leaf, and these are known as the leaflet. So this is the basic difference between the simple leaf and the compound leaf. In compound leaf, the lamina is not divided, but in simple leaf the lamina is not divided, but in compound leaf the lamina is furtherly divided into the leaflet. Okay, now let's start the another topic. Now let's start the topic, arrangement of leaf on the stem. That means how leaves are arranged in the stem, whatever the pattern is there. So on this, the leaves are arranged in the three different patterns. First is the alternate arrangement of the leaves. Now in this alternate arrangement, what happened here? Generally the leaves, it is completely arranged in the alternate pattern. That means one leaf from the rachis is here, so one is the here, the next one is here, so next one is here. That means there is no overlapping of leaf on one another, and these are completely present in this manner. Alternately, one is here, then one is here, and one is here. So this is the first one, alternate arrangement of leaves on the stem. The second is the opposite arrangement. In opposite arrangement, the leaves are arranged in the stem in just opposite to each other, like this. So this type of pattern is present in the opposite leaf arrangement, and you can see easily the difference between the alternate and the opposite arrangement. Now the third one, it is the whorled arrangement. In whorled arrangement, what happened? The leaves which is present, it is present in the circular manner, but they are also not going to overlap each other like this. They make a circle like pattern, but they are also not going to overlap each other. So these three types of arrangement are there on the plant through which the leaves are arranged. Now we will start the next topic. Now the next topic is the venation of leaves. So let's first come to know what is this term venation. This is the pattern through which, on which the veins and veinlets are present on the leaves. That means how veins are draw the various patterns in the leaf, that is known as the venation. And leaf venation, it is furtherly two types. First is the parallel venation and second one is the reticulate venation. So first we will start with the parallel venation. In parallel venation, the veins, it is present in the parallel lines like this type of venation, that lines are parallel to each other. There is no difference between the lines. You can also see like this. This is the parallel venation. Here no differences in the line. But in reticulate venation, what happened? The veins and veinlets, they form a net-like structure. They form a complex structure which is like a net. That means here veins and veinlets, these are going to be furtherly divide. That's why it forms a complex structure, and this complex structure is known as a reticulate venation. Now just study about the function of the leaf. Now, as you all know, leaf, it is a very important part of plant. It is a green part of plant which help in the photosynthesis. That's why the leaves play the important function in the plant's life. So first start with the functions of the leaf. The first function, as I already told you, it help in the photosynthesis. It helps in the photosynthesis. And why it's help in the photosynthesis? Because leaves are green. And why these leaves are green? Because they are having the chlorophyll. Okay, and this chlorophyll pigment, this provide the green color to the leaves, which help in the photosynthesis. And how this process of photosynthesis perform? Here the water plus carbon dioxide these both things is present, and in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, it forms glucose, as well as it releases oxygen. What happened? Water and carbon dioxide, in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, it forms glucose as well as oxygen. And oxygen is the byproduct which is released in the atmosphere, and it is consumed in the respiration. So this is the first function of the leaf. Now the second function of the leaf. The second function of leaf, it helps in the gaseous exchange. It helps in gaseous exchange. That means leaves having the pore which is known as stomata, and through these pores what happened? The carbon dioxide comes in and oxygen moves out during the process of photosynthesis. And it also helps in respiration. And the another most important function of the leaf is it helps in transpiration. And what is transpiration? It is removal of water from the aerial parts of the plant. So I think you all understand about the functions of the leaf.